Hey guys, I'm Antis, the founder of Three Chapter Media, and today we're going to be talking about something really briefly. So I'm not going to go into the details. I think we can have a separate video for that if you want. But right now I'm just going to kind of talk about the process of doing research nowadays, right? With the tools and capabilities that we have right now. So before, we used to have sources like social media, review, platforms. We used to have something like Meta Ads Library, and of course our own brains, right? So these are the kind of main sources of ideas that we used to have. The problem with these were that when you went to something like Meta Ads Library, reviews, or social media, you could not look through hundreds of posts, hundreds of reviews or ads, and notice all the different details, spot trends. You could not do this. So typically, even when agencies went to do their research, from what I've witnessed, they would go and look at maybe 15, maybe 20 different ads, and they would say, well, this is what they're talking about. And they would kind of assume that the rest of the ads are talking about this, as well, or they're talking the same exact way, which is not great. If you have a competitor that's running 150 ads, looking at 20, it's like, sure, but you only did part of the job. And unfortunately, that was just the way that things were. So then it would kind of lead to people thinking about like, oh, well, what angles could we use? And while that isn't a problem that you're using your brain, congratulations, most of the time, if you're trying to sell in a niche, especially if it's a niche that you're not familiar with, if you're trying to sell to the users in that space, and you don't understand it, how are you going to think of the angles that are actually going to convert, that are actually going to matter, right? You can be very empathetic and try to really get into the brain of the user, but at the end of the day, you're still assuming, you're still guessing, right? So that used to be the way it was before. And now, fortunately, we have far more accurate ways to work with it. So for example, nowadays, we still have reviews. We still have social media platforms. We still have Meta Ads Library. But now we have tools like Wise Winning, which is a tool that I built where you can put in your competitor's Facebook page URL and analyze everything that they're doing in their advertising. And you have tools like, ChatGPT's Deep Research, which a lot of the AIs have a version of it. And you can use all of that to essentially do research for you, to look through the social media posts, to look through the reviews, to look through all this different content and put it all into one place. And then it's incredibly, incredibly powerful. And even Wise Winning, when I built it because I realized that I cannot analyze physically 150 different ads the competitors are putting out. I just can't do that. Or even if they're running 50 ads and I have to look at 3 different competitors, still, that's going to take a lot of time and I'm probably going to miss something, right? So that's why I built Wise Winning for myself. And now I made it public, right? So let's look at this ad, for example, this ad that I found. I made some doodles because I looked at the different places in the ad copy that they're using, and I kind of went, okay, makes sense. This brand shows that they might understand their audience, but they might not understand how to speak to them, right? And understanding your audience and understanding how to market to them are 2 different things. Because, for example, if you're somebody who works with people and their diets a lot, and you talk about their dietary needs and their problems and issues and challenges, and that's your entire career, and then you put out a product in that niche, it doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be successful in sales, because now you need to find out how those people act online, right? So the questions that they're too shy to ask you, the things that they're insecure about, but they post on social media anonymously about, wondering this or that, the brands that they're comparing, the reason why they're ditching brands and going to other brands, the trending messaging and the brands use that kind of resonates with them, right? All this different stuff is stuff that you would not know from just your career, even though you understand the audience on a more human level, right? So here we see kind of the same thing is they might be great with their audience. They might understand them, but the ad copy here is just very abstract. So we have like, here's an offer. Then we have, oh, Hollywood stars use it. Then we have some of the benefits from the product page, some feedback, I guess. And that's about it. This is the whole entire ad. And I think that if we were to improve the ad copy, right, without any additional information, we can improve it like this. Microneedling is everywhere right now. So everybody who's already on Meta, for example, they're scrolling and they're into microneedling. They've been looking into it. I think that's something that can hook them. They might be like, oh, yes, it is. Let's keep reading, whatever, right? You can improve this, whatever. This is a kind of no research ad copy where you improve the structure, the readability, this kind of stuff. You can play around with the hooks and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still not going to be as effective as the one done with research. So for example, the one done with research mentions the specific costs of such sessions, right? It mentions the fact that you need 3 to 6 for real results. It mentions the fact that they can cost you up to $2,500 for all of this, or you can do it at home. And then it goes into the product benefits. Then it goes to selling the product, right? Then it says all these different benefits, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes, same concepts clinics use, no appointment, no downtime, no $500 invoice, 70% off right now. Again, you can play around with the structure, you can play around with the hook, whatever. Point is, this is far more specific when it comes to numbers and the actual challenges than the others were. And the reason why is because I looked at the research that I did, obviously, and these numbers came from the people, right? These numbers were mentioned several times where people talked about the cost and they complained about it. They complained about the fact that it was 3 to 6 sessions for real results. They complained about the price adding up, right? So if they're complaining about that, use that as a hook to pull them in to say, I'm aware of this issue, and guess what? We solve this issue for you, right? Because that's what they're going to be paying for. And then, of course, you can include the kind of details about the product and why the product itself is so amazing, and then close that with selling that one more time. Again, you can rewrite it, you can do whatever you want. Point is, base it on research. So when you do research, how do you actually do it? Well, when it comes to using a tool like Perplexity, for example, and their research functionality or ChatGPT or whatever, there are 3 things that I always do every single time. The first thing is, what do you need, right? I answer this question. So I say, for example, please look into microinfusion home kits. I want you to analyze many social media posts and public reviews of such products, right? Then what will you use it for? In this case, to find what sells such a product and what makes a product like this stand out. And then, of course, end it with what should the file contain? So this is the file that you get after the research is done. What should you have in there? So I say in the end file should be put together almost like a copywriting playbook for a brand selling such a product. So now the file that I'm going to get after just a few minutes of kind of sitting back and waiting for it to do research is going to be a detailed file outlining everything that I want to know to write effective ad copy for this space. So for example, this is kind of a sneak peek of the overview that I got. And we can see already it's looking at the market landscape. It's looking at the different brands, the price points, key differentiators, positioning, all of this. Now imagine doing this with several different AIs. So now you have 6 different researchers looking into stuff for you, right? And then you can use something like Claude Opus to put it all together, right? You can do all of this stuff with this output file that you get. However, the most basic thing is obviously just dropping it into AI and saying, hey, use this to write ad copy. You can do that. That's already going to probably be a lot better than what you would get without research. Then you say, create a project bot, or, let's say you create a project bot or a project or a bot rather on ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever. And you can essentially put the file into the knowledge base. So now every single time that it's communicating with you about the topic, whatever it is that you're discussing, writing ad copy, social media posts, whatever, it's going to have that in the back of its quote unquote mind, right? So it's going to think about each answer, and it's going to walk through the file that you provided it with and then give you a very filtered answer. So that's what you want, because that's going to be a very different response than what you would typically get from an AI that does not have this, for example, copywriting playbook designed specifically for your product or niche. And then, of course, the one that we use at 3 Chapter Media for our clients, That's a far longer process, but I can take you through it in a different video if you would like. It's the process of putting together kind of a brain, if you will, by collecting data through different AIs. So you kind of repeat the process with different AIs. Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Manus. You take all these different AIs and you kind of run the same prompts through them with their research features. And then you essentially have all these different files and use something like Claude Opus because it's, from my experience, one of the best ones to kind of create files like this. Although it is pretty expensive, but it's fantastic at doing this. It can put together all the information, make sure that it's not repetitive or anything, put together one single file or divide it up into different files for different sorts of things, right? So writing ad copy, social media posts, this, that, the other. And then you put all these files together into a bot that's going to act like, again, like it's a brain, and you can put in custom instructions allowing it to understand how to use all these files. So now you're going to have an extremely smart copywriter trained on exactly how your audience thinks. And of course, you can do far more stuff than that. You can scrape reviews. You can collect, social media posts and analyze that with AI and create reports for that and include that in the so-called brain. You can do all these things. The point is, do your research, because that's going to make you stand out. You can also, after you have all of that, use like a tool like Wise Winning, again, the tool that I built to analyze what your competitors are doing in their advertising, to kind of see, okay, this is what I can talk about. This is how I should sound. How are my competitors doing, right? Find weak points in their communication and go, this is where I can win. So if it's something that your clients are talking about and something that your competitors are not talking about, that could be a potential winning angle. And of course, then you're going to stand out, because this is a kind of pretty little drawing I made of the competition and you. So for example, the people down here, they say, well, I want XYZ. You're the only brand that really listens. Everybody else is copying competitors and trying to assume, or doing barely any research. And so they're trying to communicate to sell, but you're the only one that's actually going to take that information, right? Filter it through whatever offers you have or whatever else, and spit it back out to the consumer, speaking exactly like them. So they said, I want XYZ. Your ads say, looking for XYZ, and bam, that's how you make a sale. Again, this was just a general overview. If you want me to get into the specific process, let's do it. I can make a separate video on this. But yeah, I hope it was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas of like how you can do research. So go ahead and get started. And for all the specifics, again, we can do other videos. So once again, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about this entire process.